Hey guys, welcome to yoga. Let's start out in a nice easy seat. You can sit cross-legged or maybe even pull one foot up into your hip crease here. If that feels okay, go with it. If it feels like a little too much to start out with, you can just do crisscross applesauce. So wherever you are, let your hands rest down on your thighs. You can flip the backs of your hands down so your palms face up, or you can let your palms face down. Just try to let your shoulders relax. Close your eyes and start to take a few long, deep breaths here. Lifting the chest as you inhale and exhaling the shoulder blades down the back, nice and slowly. With each breath in, try to create some height and some length. And with each exhale out, try to relax the shoulders a little bit down, farther and farther away from the ears. Very good. Let's start to circle the shoulders around. So take your fingertips to your shoulders and just circle around here. Make these circles as big as you can, but again, if it feels a little tight and this feels like too much range of motion in your shoulders, you can start out little and then slowly make your way into bigger circles. Take your time, make sure you go in both directions. And just notice any differences that may exist between your shoulders and between the directions. So it may feel okay to go one way, and then going the other direction may feel like a little janky in your shoulder. Just notice what you feel. Try to keep the chest lifted, inhaling to lift, and then exhaling, letting the shoulder blades move down the back still. Few more rounds of breath, just like this. Your arms, your shoulders may be getting a little tired from making these circles, and that's okay. That's building strength over time so that this will become easier and easier the more you do it. And at the same time that you're creating that strength, you're creating a lot of mobility from circling your joints around. So continuing with that, creating mobility by creating circles, let's let the head do the same thing. So just allow your head to make some slow circles here. Just dropping your chin down, letting your ear reach towards your shoulder, letting the back of your head reach back, and all the way around. The same thing here, go in both directions. Really take your time as you move your head around. Notice if anything feels a little uncomfortable, even if it's not painful. Just notice any discomfort that may be hanging out in your neck. Let's go a few more times. Make sure you've gone somewhat equally in each direction. It does not have to be perfect. And now let's slowly allow the head to come back to center and let the eyes open if your eyes are closed. On an inhale, let's sweep the arms up. Breathing in, as you exhale, bring your hands down through center. Press your palms together and try to pull the heels of your hands down. Start to activate your abdomen, especially your low belly. So it's like you're doing a little bit of a crunch here. Inhale and arch the back, sweep the arms up. Exhale, press the palms together, pull the heels of the hands down, engaging the low belly, sort of creating that six-pack shape in your abdomen. Keep going with your breath, inhaling to lift and finding this little arch. Maybe it's a big arch, and then exhaling, pulling the heels of your hands down. Now we're rounding the spine and looking down. Inhale, find the arch. So you're coming into a little bit of a back bend here, and then exhaling, pulling the hands down, rounding the spine. Your chin is sort of aimed toward your belly button. 3 more times, just like this. Very, very good. Pull down as you exhale, round the spine, arch and open up as you inhale. Last one here. Make it a big, sort of dramatic movement. Inhaling, pulling the chest forward and up as you open. Exhaling, crunching and pulling the heels of the hands down as you round the spine. And take another round of breath here. Keep this rounded shape in your back. And then release. Give your wrists a little shake. All right, so from here, let's make our way onto our hands and knees. So that was a little bit of a workout for the abdominals, the core of the body. Let's give it a nice stretch. So as you inhale, arch your back, pull your chest forward. It's the same motion we did with the spine when we inhaled our arms up. Exhale, round the spine. Same motion of the spine we did when we kind of crunched and pulled our hands down through center. Move with the breath, inhaling to arch the back, pull the chest forward. Exhale to round the spine, pull the navel back. Think about lining your ears up with your arms. Take your time here, make your breaths as long as is comfortable in your body. So from the all fours, let's take our knees wide. Sink the hips back to the heels for child's pose. Walk your hands forward. You can come up on your fingertips. And then let your forehead rest down. Now on an inhale, we'll walk the hands all the way over to one side. Try to keep your hips level even as you bring your hands all the way over to one side. So you've got this big stretch down the side body. Now come on back through center nice and slowly. Head all the way over to the other side, keeping the hips grounded and neutral. Try to pull this outside hip back a little bit so that you're not allowing it to come with you as you walk your hands over. Breathe here. Now let's come on back to center. And we'll make our way into our first downward facing dog. So spread the fingers nice and wide, curl your toes under, and then send the hips up and back into down dog. Breathing, letting the hips continue to reach up and back, keeping the knees bent until the hamstrings, the backs of your thighs, start to open up a little bit. So you may even kind of go from one side to the other. Dropping one heel down, then the other. Just kind of feeling your way into it nice and slowly. Now letting your weight come into your hands. Start to tiptoe your feet forward to meet your hands. Bend your knees. Think about letting your chest rest on the tops of your thighs and then just fold over. Let your head hang. Give yourself some sways from side to side. If you feel stable here, take your hands to your elbows and just drop your head. Still swaying from side to side. Feel your weight in all the four corners of your feet, your big toes, your baby toes, and the inner and outer heels. That'll allow you to find a little more balance in your feet and feel more stable. When it feels okay to start straightening the legs, you can slowly straighten the legs, but don't be in a rush to do it. Keep your knees bent as long as you need to. From here, slowly inhale and roll up all the way, taking your arms out and up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. All right, So let's just play here for a moment with finding the balance in the feet. So with your feet about hip distance, you can measure hip distance by taking 2 fists between your feet right here. We're gonna rock into our toes and then back into our heels. And it may help to kind of have your arms out like this to find the balance. If you want to challenge yourself, you can try bringing your hands overhead and just rock from your heels into your toes. Slowly your calf muscles, which are right here, the backs of your legs, will start to get a little sore here, and that's okay. We're strengthening our calf muscles, and we're also strengthening our feet, all those muscles in the bottom of the feet. Play with different positions for your hands, maybe having them together. You may even try to take one hand behind you, grab it with the other hand. 10 more just like this. Probably starting to feel a little bit of burning sensation, and that is okay. 5 more. Whew. Good, very good. We're gonna hold the last one. Come up as high as you can. Have your arms wherever you need them for some balance. Take one more inhale and fold over the legs as you exhale. Inhale to lengthen the spine, come halfway up, look forward, try to lengthen the back of your neck, reach the tailbone back. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back to plank pose, and hold it here for 5 rounds of breath. If you want to make this a little more challenging, bring your knees forward one at a time. You can pull them up into your chest, or you can try tapping the mat with your knee. All right, one more breath wherever you are here. With your exhale, come all the way down. Try to hug your elbows in, and then inhale, lift the chest, pull it forward. Keep that weight in your hands. If you need to walk your hands back a little bit, you can walk your hands back. Keep pulling your elbows toward one another. Pull your shoulders back and down. Make sure your ears and your shoulders aren't sort of huddled up together. Take your feet wide and really press into the tops of your feet to allow the chest to lift. Lift your chin, open up the chest, really press into your hands. Weight in the hands to allow the chest to open up. Another inhale. And as you exhale, back to down dog we go. Send the hips up and back. Lengthen down here. Lift and lower the heels. Just notice how this down dog maybe feels a little bit different from your first down dog. Hopefully a little more open. The backs of the legs may be feeling not quite so tight. Let's take another round of breath here in down dog. Now at the base of your next exhale, you can walk your feet forward, or if you want to try hopping, you'll bend your knees, crouch low, and then bring your feet toward your hands. Inhale, roll up, nice and slow, hands together, and then exhale, hands down through center. One more time, inhale, arms up. Exhale, this time fold over the legs, bend your knees on the way down. We'll go a little faster this time. Inhale to lengthen the spine, reach forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step back and lower down. One long breath. Inhale to lift the chest. You may have the tops of the thighs up here. You may let them rest down. Exhale it back to down dog. 3 rounds of breath here. Very good. Now take your right leg up into the air. Bend your knee. Let your hips sort of stack open here. So let that knee just keep lifting. Good. You can think about a dog kind of peeing on a fire hydrant here. It's basically what it looks like. Lift your leg. Try to pull your heel back toward your bum. And now we're going to bring that knee forward to our right hand. So pulling that knee forward, Let your leg come down. Slide your left leg out behind you. Now you're on the front of your left leg, so the top of the foot is down. You're on the back of your front leg, your right leg. So this is pigeon pose. Take a moment. Some of you may be able to have your foot kind of farther out here and create a nice 90-degree angle. If that feels like a little too much, you can pull your heel in like I'm doing, and that'll ease that stretch in the hip a little bit. So with your hands down, inhale to lift the chest, and then exhale and reach forward slowly. When you're ready to bring your hands down, bring your hands down. You might be up here, you may be able to get all the way down here. Just listen to your body. Try not to push things too far, too fast. Take 3 more rounds of breath here. Now while we're here, let's rock into this right hip. Swing that back leg around. Plant your foot to the outside of your thigh. We're sort of set up for a nice little twist here. So pulling the heels in. Inhale the right arm up, and then as you exhale, twist to the left toward that bent knee. And you can bend your arm if you want. You can hug your knee if that feels better, or you can push it away like this. Try to look back over your left shoulder. And what you're really trying to do is sort of spin your chest, your rib cage open and up. It helps to look up to sort of facilitate that spinning. Keep pressuring your thigh with the back of your arm to allow that rotation of the chest. You can keep this back hand down. You may flip the back of your hand to your low back, or you might reach up. Find something that feels good to you. This may feel good. This allows this muscle right here at the sort of front of your armpit to stretch. The pec minor, or the pectoral minor. All right, let's inhale our way back to center. Let it out. And then from here, we're going to untangle our legs, slide them out. Bend the knees a little bit, take a big inhale, and then as you exhale, fold over the legs. You can grab your feet with your hands. You might want to take your first 2 fingers around your big toes. Try to send your elbows out wide. And try to let the back stay long, so try not to hunch here. Try to keep reaching the chest forward. So you may have to lift up a little bit to keep that length in the spine, and that's perfectly okay. It feels okay to sort of straighten your legs a bit here. You can go there as well. Just remember, your hamstrings, these muscles ever feel really tight, especially if you feel it in your low back, bend your knees. It's an easy solution. Let's take 1 more round of breath here. Inhale and roll up slowly. Let your head be the very last thing to lift. And then crossing your legs, pull your ankles in, pull your knees in. Now, you may rock forward and plant your hands. We're going to go back to downward facing dog. Or you may kind of do a slow motion. So slow motion, you're just going to plant your hands, step your feet back to down dog. If you want to do the rocking version, you're going to use your low belly to really pull your knees in. Find your balance, cross your ankles, and then in one motion, you're going to rock forward and send your feet back. Once you find down dog, take your left foot up and back. So fire hydrant pose on this side, bending the knee, opening up the hip. Try to pull your heel back toward your tailbone and lift your outer thigh. So you'll really feel this in your hips. It's a big stretch. Try not to let your chest twist open with your legs. Try to keep the chest straight back. You can think about aiming it toward that back leg. And now using your low belly, pull that left knee forward. Bring it into where we just were on the right side. So you may notice a big difference between the two sides. Sometimes one hip can be really, really tight. One hip can be fairly open. So this may be the tighter side. This may be the looser side, or you may find that they're somewhat the same. Wherever you are, if you need to, you can bend this back knee. When you're ready, inhale to lift your chest and then exhale to make your way forward. Keep sending the shoulder blades down the back with each breath. Try to keep this front foot flexed so your toes are pulling back toward your ankles. Long, deep breaths. Keep sending the chest forward. Very good. All right, on an inhale, let's roll all the way up, sinking into that left hip. Swing that back foot around to the front, planting it outside your left thigh. This time the left arm will lift. Take a big inhale, exhale and twist to the right. Either taking your arm between your chest and your leg or wrapping it around your leg, kind of pulling it in. Think about spiraling your chest open, pulling this right shoulder back, maybe extending the arm out or up. Again, taking it out with the palm facing forward will give you that pec minor stretch, that little muscle at the front of your armpit. You may want to flip the hand and take the back of your hand to your low back, or you can always have it down like this for support. So wherever you want that hand is fine. Try to keep twisting a little deeper with each breath. So each inhale to lift, each exhale to go a little bit deeper into that space you created with the inhale. This time, slide the legs out, give your legs a little shake here, maybe a little quick massage with your hands, and then bring the soles of your feet together. Try to open your feet up like a little book so the pinky toes are sort of snuggled up, big toes are pulling away from each other. Take a big inhale here, shoulders down the back. As you exhale, reach the chest forward, coming into this forward fold called Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose. You can do whatever you want with your hands. You may want to hold your ankles, your feet, or have your fingertips way out in front of you. Whatever works best for you. Stay here for 5 more breaths. Try to relax the back of the head and just letting it hang. Tucking the chin, roll up nice and slowly. So we've already got ourselves sort of set up for a squat here. So we're going to use our hands behind us to come onto the balls of our feet. Come into a little squat here. Bring your hands together. Press your elbows into your inner thighs to send your knees away from each other. Keep pressing your hands together. Imagine you're using the tips of your thumbs to sort of draw a line down your sternum. All right, so from here, we're all set up for our arm balance. So crow pose, Bakasana. We'll have the hands down. Make sure they're shoulder distance, so Don't have one hand in front of the other. Don't have your hands way far apart. Hand shoulder distance. Fingers really active, so grip the mat. You can squeeze the outside of your arms with your knees, and then just rocking forward. Bend your elbows, and when you're ready, one foot may lift, and then maybe the other foot lifts too. You can always leave one foot down here while you find the balance. All right, so let's talk about one more way to do this pose. This is a little more balance, a little less core work. So in this variation, we take the knees to the backs of the arms, we rock forward, and then there's a little more balance. You're also a little higher up here, so this can be a little scarier. But over time, you'll feel more and more comfortable here. And you want to pull your heels up toward your tailbone and grip with your fingertips. When you're ready to come down, you can come on down, shake out your wrists, and taking the backs of your hands down, just use your knees to massage out your wrists, get into the base of your thumbs, your fingers, all in your hands, all in your wrists. And then when you're ready, just come to sit on your heels. Your wrists, another little shake. And then maybe a squeeze. And then let the backs of your hands rest down on your thighs. Let your shoulders just melt down away from your ears. Reach the crown of your head up toward the ceiling, creating more and more space with each breath between the crown of your head and the base of your spine. You can let your fingers sort of curl in toward your wrist. Gently tuck your chin to help lengthen the back of your neck even more. Take one more round of breath here. Drawing your hands together at your heart. Release your chin down toward your chest. Thank you so much for joining me for yoga today. Hopefully we'll see more of each other as the semester goes by. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.